Hey, it's Wildjosh from Geek-Cetera, and I'm here to talk about Star Wars The Mandalorian and how it took over the top spot for streaming television series. And I'm going to talk about what that means for Star Wars going forward and what it means possibly for some of those streaming television series that it outdid. Let's get into it.
We're going to talk about geeky things.
Woohoo! So as I mentioned, you probably heard it was in the news this week that Star Wars The Mandalorian, after only 3 episodes, took over the top streaming spot for on-demand streaming. So basically, it's they were looking at the analytics of the demand of it being streamed, and how many demand expressions that it received, which is it's an odd analytic. But anyways, it dethroned Stranger Things, which is an excellent series that streams on Netflix. But it dethroned it in only 3 weeks of shows, which is pretty incredible because Stranger Things has had, it's on its 3rd season, so the 4 seasons to come, and it already was able to surpass that. Incredible. So what does that mean? Well, there was some trepidation from Disney as to whether they wanted to put a lot of money towards TV and streaming service shows. We see, though, that with Disney Plus, they've really put a push towards it. And even when Lucas had been planning some live-action TV stuff, we see that there was a little trepidation. It wasn't ever sold to a network, so it was kind of like, will it, won't it ever come? And we did get it finally. But because of some backlash for Last Jedi and Solo, even Disney has been a little hesitant as to say what they're going to do. We know that we are going to get The Mandalorian on the launch of Disney Plus. We know that we're getting a Cassian Andor story that's going to be a prequel to Rogue One. And we know that we're getting a mini-series for Obi-Wan Kenobi. But we didn't know what was going to go beyond that, and these were really trials for Disney. But seeing the demand and the positive response to The Mandalorian, I think means that we're going to get a lot more of this content on Disney Plus to come. These, like I said, this has been super. Not only is it showing that it's in demand and it's popular by receiving the analytics that it needs, and showing that there's a high demand for it, but it's also getting very good scores on Rotten Tomatoes, which I know a lot of people, that's kind of doesn't mean too much because a lot of it is swayed by critics, and sometimes the critics don't really have a very good touch on reality. But it also takes into consideration fan scores, and it's doing very well there. So all things said and done, I believe this is going to be a big thing. We're going to get a lot more content this way, a lot more series that are going to come, and I for one am very excited about it. I'm looking forward to getting more live action stuff, whether it's going to be on Disney Plus or whether it's released through other means, but it's probably going to be Disney Plus because they've really sunk a lot of money into this and they put a lot of eggs in this basket. Now, Stranger Things, as I mentioned, Netflix series was what was dethroned, and I gotta give a hat off to Stranger Things. I mean, that was incredible because that show came from nowhere. There was nothing when Stranger Things came out. There was no backup. There was no setup. It was Stranger Things on its own, and it reigned as king of streaming for a long time. And that's pretty impressive. Star Wars came in and did dethrone them, but Star Wars comes with the name Star Wars, and people are going to buy and watch just because that name's attached. So it's not surprising really that Star Wars was able to do this so quickly just because of who's attached to what's attached with that name. Where Stranger Things developed and created its own thing. So hats off to Stranger Things. I don't think it means much. It shouldn't anyways. It shouldn't really dishearten them or Netflix. I know Netflix has been struggling financially for a while now. It does make me wonder, with the pressure that Disney Plus is going to put on Netflix, what could come of that streaming platform in the future? Would they ever consider selling would they consider selling to even someone like Disney? And would Disney consider doing something where they just had one service, and whether it was Disney Plus, we already know they own the majority owners of Hulu. What could they do if they combine somehow or purchase Netflix? What would they eventually come up with? And that idea, I know a lot of people hate Disney and don't love Disney, and they don't love them controlling everything and monopolizing on things. But the idea of a Disney Stranger Things is really kind of exciting, because just like they did in Disney World, or in MGM Studios, I should say, or sorry, I got cut off there, or Hollywood Studios as it's really called. I could really see them doing some kind of Upside Down. That would be a really cool park to go to if it was all the Upside Down, or somehow it had Hawkins and the Upside Down. That would be a really neat place to go, with that 80s nostalgic feel and stuff like that. But just kind of some food for thought more than anything. And lastly, one of the things I wanted to talk about is what other storylines could they dive into with the success of The Mandalorian and this streaming television series of live action Star Wars. Where could they go? Like I said, we're getting The Mandalorian, we're getting a Cassian Andor standalone, and we're getting an Obi-Wan miniseries. Personally, myself, I've been a big advocate for make Solo 2 happen. I loved Solo. I know a lot of you didn't, but I did love it. I thought it was very well done, and I want to know where that series could go. There's a lot of story left to be told there. So could they end up finishing off that story in a standalone television miniseries kind of thing on Disney Plus? I would be for that. It would be better than nothing, even though I think they have enough to do another show or another full-length movie or two. If it came down to finishing it out in a miniseries on streaming, I would be okay with that. What else could they do? Well, we know there's been a lot of rumors about Boba Fett and doing a standalone Boba Fett thing. And could they do that? I don't know if there's too much now with The Mandalorian that the bounty hunter thing is being done, and there's no reason to do that. Could they explore the origins of the Force? We know that there were rumors of that being explored with the creators of the Game of Thrones series, but that got canceled, or they stepped away from the project. So whether it will still happen or not is to be seen. But could they do something there? Could they go into the future, into what happened with the Yuuzhan Vong in Legends, where this other race of beings comes from a distant star system, and they're more powerful? Could they go that way? There's a lot they could possibly go with. Could they go with something completely different? Broom Boy, or something else that is completely we wouldn't even be thinking about or expecting. That could be interesting as well. So curious to see what you think they could do now that this streaming service, or now that The Mandalorian is a success. It's the #1 streamed TV show. What could Disney expand into for live action television series in the Star Wars universe? Let me know in the comments. Hey, I just got a thought. We know we got Ewok Adventures. Could they redo the Ewok Adventures? And Jon Favreau has said that he would like to take a shot at redoing the holiday special, the Wookiee Life Day thing. So that would be curious as well. Well, leave your thoughts, and that's about all I had. So if you could, and if you enjoy our videos and you enjoy our content, please leave a like on the video. Also, make sure to subscribe to the channel, hit that bell icon so that anytime we put out future content, you're notified. Thanks for watching, and may the Force be with you.